Hey, this is Kent over at Zamplo, and in today's video, I'm going to be spotlighting a feature in Zamplo. It's a feature that has been there for a long time, and many of you know how to use it and the use cases and why you might use it. But there's so many new users lately, and many of you have likely seen it and just have no idea of when and why you might want to use it. So, without teasing it too much more, that's the CSV Enrichment Tool. And if we go to the CSV Enrichment Tool page, first and foremost, what this does is it allows you to upload or bring a CSV of parcel records from an outside source and enrich it with additional data from Zamplo. So things like owner information, assess value, acreage size, and more really. Anything that you want that we have, you can add to it, as well as skip tracing. So most common use case is likely somebody having a list that maybe is, those that owe money on their property taxes. And so many counties, not all of them, but many, you can go to and you can inquire about purchasing a list of them, from them, of people that owe taxes. And when they give you that list, it's typically just, hey, this is the APN, and that's all. They don't really tell you who owns it. They don't give all that information for obvious privacy reasons. But you'll know the county, you'll know the state. So what you'll do in Zamplo, if you have a list like that, is you can come to this page and drag the file in there, and then you upload it. And it will match the column headers if it's close in name to the things that we have already. Now, these things are named pretty much exactly, except county is county name in Zamplo here. But if you didn't have one of these things, let's just say I only had state and APN, and I tried this, I'll get an error, and it tells me that you must map at least one of these combinations. So there's a variety of different ways you can map it. I find some of them will produce better matches and better results than others. The most popular and the best results, in my opinion, come from state, county name, and APN. And those ones are typically pretty easy to get. So if we come and add county name back in, I'll go ahead and hit submit column mappings. This part takes a little bit longer than your typical export, so I already have it over here to kind of save time, the magic of YouTube. And what it does is just matches it, and then it gives us the opportunity to say, okay, what columns of data, what information do we want to bring over about those parcels? So you can select, any preset that you have here or make it your own. You can also add skip tracing right here as well. That's a video for another time. A lot of you guys are doing skip tracing for your SMS campaigns, or maybe you're wanting to do cold calling. If you are, give me a call, because we can get you a lot better prices than what you're seeing here on this video. But if this is what you want, you can come here and hit export and pay. And then when you hit export and pay, it's going to do kind of the typical thing that most of you are used to in export, is it's going to export this into a CSV file to be available for download. So again, to save us time, I already have that file, but this is pretty quick. That's already done. But I'm just going to go to Google Sheets. I'm going to open a new file, go to upload, and I'll pull that over. And then we now have that same list, and the first three columns are the things that we had on that initial list, and then everything that we've enriched it with will have a Z in the front. So if you're ever curious on like what you had initially and then what came from Zamplo, that's the way to distinguish between those. And so the standard stuff you would expect, the acreage size, again, dependent on whatever you said that you want to come over here. You're going to have who owns it, their mailing address, and then also all of these records, because you will have no idea. You'll never have laid eyes on these as of yet. You just had a list, essentially. So you can come into any of these and click on the link, and it would automatically take you to where that parcel is. And so you can see that parcel and, decide what you want to do from there. If it's one that you are going to call, if you're skip tracing, or if you're texting, or if you're going to mail them, you might want to take a look at those first, of course. So that's just one use case. Another use case that we see is somebody's done a list and they want to do some skip tracing, but they don't want to skip trace everything. Maybe it was like, 100 out of the 1,000 records that they did. So if you kind of craft your own spreadsheet or CSV file and you bring it into the CSV Enrichment Tool, you can then drop it in there and to do your skip tracing, and that way you can have a really targeted list of some things that you might have already pulled from Zamplo, but a targeted list of people that you want to skip trace for whatever reason that may be. So again, this is just scratching the surface. There's a lot of different ways that people have used this, and if something's kind of coming to the top of your head that I didn't cover today that you want to talk about further, as always, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm always happy to help with any questions.